days only. This is only today and tomorrow. Okay, so it will be the demo. Only like we'll discuss about the DevOps. What exactly DevOps? Okay, the tools explanation. What are the tools I'm going to explain?
Okay. So the
Maybe
daily the
what are
class.
the tools? Yeah,
So the daily class will be weekday, not weekend, right?
exactly. You're right. Only in
Okay.
weekdays and 6 p.m. daily.
Okay. Okay.
I am only
Okay.
one. Am I the only one who is not able to hear the voice properly? Like the voice is breaking.
Okay. So what about others, guys? Are you able to
Yeah,
hear me?
now it's okay. Now
Yes.
it's okay.
Yes.
Now it's okay.
Yeah.
Earlier it was breaking.
Okay, maybe it's because of the fan. Let me switch off my fan. Okay. Is it fine now then?
Yes, sir, it's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, perfect, perfect.
Okay, maybe my fan issue then. Okay, my fan is making some noise. Okay, guys. Yeah, thanks for again informing me.
Even we
So
have to
yeah,
use the
guys.
fan. We can't use the AC nowadays.
Yes, you are right. But actually, my kid is sleeping in other room. That's a problem. Yeah. Okay. So I hope, guys, everybody is able to see my screen as well as able to hear my voice also properly. Yes. Okay, great. Okay, guys, so let's start. So, as part of my agenda, so I'm going to show the different stuff. I'll show the PPT also, guys. I have a good PPT also. That also I'll go through once. So, first, DevOps. What is DevOps, guys? What is DevOps? Now, the second thing is benefits of DevOps. Tools I'm going to cover. Okay. So, guys, and the documentation part. Okay. So, these are the things I'm going to show you guys in today's class. That is our agenda. So, before starting DevOps, guys, we have to discuss about SDLC process. So, how many of you are aware of SDLC, guys? And what is SDLC? Anybody, guys? I hope you maybe you like we
It
have
is software
experience like
development
that.
lifecycle. It involves all the phases in the development of the project, like development, testing, maintenance, all the phases. So there are multiple types of SDLC, like waterfall model. Nowadays it's agile model, and earlier it was agile model, and nowadays it's a DevOps methodology. Like all the people are working simultaneously in the DevOps, like developer, designer, testers, and we have to deliver something in 2 weeks. So agile methodology.
Exactly. So who is that?
Yeah, Sumit.
Sumit. Okay. Thank you, Sumit. Yes, you are right. So I'll give you a clear again picture. What is SDLC? And yes, prerequisites also, guys. So prerequisites also I will give in today's class. What are the prerequisites for DevOps? That is also I will cover. Don't worry. So, guys, before talking about DevOps, we have to talk about SDLC first. So, as I told you, SDLC, as Sumit told, SDLC nothing but software development lifecycle, guys. Any project, it might be a new application, new organization, or already existing application. So, let's select one. Maybe let's choose one application, guys. The commonly used application nowadays. Can you name someone, guys? Maybe some application name. The day-to-day life which you use in your real time, maybe in your personal life. So let's take WhatsApp. Is that okay, guys? I hope everybody know what is WhatsApp, right? What is
Hmm.
WhatsApp, guys? What is WhatsApp?
It is the biggest time waster for students.
Okay, but it can be again used in many ways also. Okay, maybe useful as definitely every application has its own advantages and disadvantages also. That's fine. We'll talk about advantages. Leave it about that disadvantages. Okay. So what are the functionalities we do have on WhatsApp, guys? What are the commonly again used functionalities in a single in that WhatsApp application? So we do have chatting. The main functionality is chatting. Yes or no?
Yes.
Then apart from the chatting, what else? We have audio calling, video calling, group calling. Again, we can send the documentation. I'm sorry. Anything, guys? Anything you want to say? Okay, no problem. So, guys, if you want to say anything, don't talk in between. So, once I complete, if I ask you, please respond. Okay, so maybe in between, please don't maybe unmute yourself. I'll give the chance to you guys. Everybody, you can ask your questions. Maybe at the maybe when I stopped it, or else I'll ask. Okay, that time please respond. But in between, please don't respond. So as I told you guys, WhatsApp is one of the commonly used applications nowadays. Everybody has a smartphone, and everybody has that application in their smartphone. So what are the functionalities we do have? Chatting, audio calling, video calling. Again, maybe you can upload the videos, photos, documentation. You can again uh, maybe what I can say is profile setting, status settings you can set, right? So this many functionalities you do have for WhatsApp application. So we'll talk about that project, how exactly the WhatsApp will work. It's a common behavior, guys. It's a common, maybe any project has the same kind of setup. Only the application might be different, the infrastructure might be different, maybe their location are different, that's it. Okay, but most probably the procedure will be common in any project. Okay, it doesn't matter. So what is SDLC in any project? So let's assume that, guys, I am working for WhatsApp project. So WhatsApp is a chatting tool. Already it's existing project. Already my application is running. So where it will run, guys? So maybe how can I minimize this? Yeah, I got it. So guys, let's assume that this is my mobile. Maybe. Yeah, this one. Let's assume that this is my mobile. And this is your mobile, guys. When I send a message to you, okay, or maybe when I call you, when I did this one, video call, audio call, maybe sending message to you. Actually, guys, it's not direct connection between you and me. Okay, so in between, in the WhatsApp organization, there are some set of operating systems. So, okay, in the WhatsApp organization, guys, there are number of servers. So different internally, guys. External application is WhatsApp. So, but how many functionalities you do have in WhatsApp? Audio calling, video calling, chatting. So to get those functionalities internally in the WhatsApp organization, they will maintain different operating system with different applications, guys. Different applications. Again, that list also I will give in later point of time. Now, as of now, that list is not required. So what application, what kind of application they will use and all, it's out of scope right away. Internally, there are huge number of servers, guys, and with different applications all together, all different settings. Okay, so they are running in these servers. That is the reason you are able to use this application, guys, with this many functionalities. And whenever you send a call, maybe message to other person, guys, so assume this is my mobile, this is your mobile. Whenever I send a message to you, it's not direct message to you, guys. So basically, in between, in WhatsApp organization, the servers will be available. The application server, these are called as application databases. Different applications will be there internally. So it will go to that servers where that let's chatting functionality is running. Okay, so internally different applications it will use, and finally it will reach out to you, guys. Any application, not only WhatsApp. Even if I do, even if I open YouTube in my laptop also, it will go to that servers where that YouTube server is running. Where it will go to the YouTube organization, guys. From there only you are getting those videos. Any pages, again, you google.com, facebook.com, it will reach out to those servers which are running in their organization. So guys, these servers are called as production servers. Production environment. Okay. So guys, these servers are called as production environment. And let's assume that, guys, initially when WhatsApp introduced, only chatting functionality was there. Yes or no? Actually, we didn't have audio calling, video calling that time. Initially, they released only chatting functionality. Later on, slowly, maybe after 6 months, audio calling. After 6 months, video calling. Different functionalities they're developing every time. Then only the project will be served, or maybe the number of customers will be increased if they provide more functionalities. Yes or no, guys? If they provide only chatting functionality, let's assume that WhatsApp is only chatting, and the competitors, maybe the other competitor like WeShare, WeChat, something, some other application, if they are providing more functionalities, so obviously I'll go to that other functionality, other competitor only. So to make more customers, to make more turnover, so definitely organizations should keep on develop their product, keep on increasing the functionality of your application. Then only you'll get a more, again, a turnover, your project will be increased, your customers will be increased. So guys, as I told you, in your real-time environment, in your organization, there will be same set of servers. Again, production server, they won't touch it at all, guys. Production servers, at any cost, we don't touch. Okay, there will be one more set of servers internally in WhatsApp organization, guys. Remember, so one more setup, whatever the applications you are maintaining here, whatever the settings you are maintaining here, everything will be available in one more setup also. Maybe one more data center I will maintain. Guys, data center means my own hardware. Again, it's not like laptops, guys. I'll show you. See, Blade servers, the real-time servers, how it will be. So guys, this is what the real-time servers in any organization. Okay, so your servers will be like this only, guys. Here only. So maybe your servers might be in US or UK somewhere based on your project. Maybe if it is Indian project, so in India also somewhere the data center will be there. So data center means building, guys, big building. So in that building, your servers. This is data center engineer is inserting servers, guys. These are servers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So total 16 servers. In this total is called as enclosure. Okay, so in this enclosure, 16 servers. Like this, very big hardware enclosures will be there. So maybe I'm working for this project. Just assume WhatsApp project. So this data center engineer will provide IP address, internet connection to these servers. And I can connect from my office. I will connect to these servers with some application, again, with IP address, guys. So I will connect to this enclosure with the IP address of this enclosure, and I will install operating system, and on top of them only our applications, everything will be run. So there will be 3 types of environments, guys. There may be 3 different data centers. Assume that. Okay. So in one data center, maybe in one building, you'll maintain. I'm sorry, guys. So in one data center, you'll maintain development servers. The same thing. Just a minute. So here, guys, in one data center, you'll maintain the development, same setup. Whatever you have in production setup, everything will be here also. But internally it will be used only for development purpose. Here on top of these Linux boxes are these operating systems only. Your developer, your application team, different teams will be there, guys, in your project. Application teams, database team, again developer, system admin. So everybody they will connect to these development server. Here only they used to do the again maybe develop the new functionalities for our project. Okay, so once the development is come, it may take 1 month, 2 months, based on the project, based on the functionality. Okay, so then after the same application, there will be one more setup, guys. What setup you have in development environment? Again, one more data center or maybe one more building. You will maintain again same set of servers, same applications here also. But on top of it, why this environment means for quality purpose, for testing purpose, guys. You may heard about testing tools. This is development, and this is testing, guys. Here your tester will comes into picture. Once the development completed, the same application, same setup will be deployed on top of QA machines. QA means quality analysis. Testing. Your testing tools will be implemented here. Your tester will be come into picture. Your automation testing, manual testing. Then why should I do testing, guys, in your project? Because to get a quality of the product, to get a quality product, maybe secure product. So here your tester will again fix all the bugs. If any bug, he will find out the bugs, vulnerabilities, any chances for hacking the data, any chances for again maybe theft of data. Okay, is it possible? Any chances, any possibilities in later cases? Everything they will find out here. If something they found, your tester, it will go back to again development, the same functional. Again, they will inform to developer, hey, like your code somewhere has some flaws. You have to rectify that. Again, it will go to developer. Developer develop the code again. Your application, everybody will work. Then after again, it will come to testing sometime later. If everything works here, after testing finished, so it will go to the production environment. The same setup, the same whatever the new application, whatever the new functionality implemented here now will be implemented on top of this production environment, guys. The same application will be copied, maybe implemented by using some different tools. Now the customer will be notified when you open a WhatsApp application. What it will show? Hey, you got a new application, new functionality, new update for your WhatsApp. So immediately I'll go to Play Store. I'll download it. I'll update my application. So this is what in real time any project, guys, minimum 3 to 4 environments will be there. So always development will be done on development servers, separate server. Why should I maintain separate servers? Why can't I can make it in a production itself, in this main server itself? Guys, always remember, in production we should not do anything. We in the sense application team, database team, system admin, DevOps admin, anybody, they should not touch these servers at any cost. Because if something goes wrong while developing, while changing something, what will happen? Your customer will be impacted. They cannot access this application. Something wrong. If everything implemented and developed successfully, then only will implement here. So guys, this is called as SDLC process. For any application, any new functionality, from beginning to ending of that functionality. Okay, the life cycle is called as SDLC, software development life cycle. So let's assume that now audio calling. Okay, so guys, my management already released the WhatsApp project, WhatsApp product into the market. Now they have only chatting functionality. Your customers has only chatting functionality. Now my management decided to go with audio calling. Then what they will do? First, they will announce it into the again your teams, guys. You may have your teams like application team, database team, development team, again testers. So guys, again system admins, managers, again architects. So guys, this many teams might be available in your project. Okay, so your management will announce it. Hey guys, we are going to develop a new functionality for our application. Example I'm taking as audio call. Already it's there now in the market, but just assume that it's not there. My management decided to develop it. Now what will happen in the market, in that organization? So that is where SDLCs will start, guys. So when they announce it, so your all teams first will analyze that new functionality. What is that new functionality? Audio calling. How to develop it? How many new operating systems I have to launch? Can we go with the existing setup? Already your applications running here. Your chatting functionality, everything, those applications are running. So your teams will decide that. Should I go with a new servers, new setup, or can we go with existing setup? How much cost it would be? How many days it may take? Who are responsible for which tasks? Okay, so due dates, everything they will discuss here. So guys, this is the first life cycle in your SDLC. First stage. Okay, so analysis means just gathering the information, guys, about your new functionality, audio calling. Then after design. Design is nothing but just whatever they discussed here in the analysis space, all your teams, your management, maybe your architect or your team leads. Okay, so we'll design the architecture exactly. What exactly you decided here? Here you will create a document, exact roadmap. Which team is responsible for which task and what their responsibility. Okay, how many days they should complete. Everything they will create a clear picture, clear roadmap in the design phase. Then after your development phase will start. So based on already your infrastructure available, guys. Your development servers are there, your testing servers are there, production servers are there. Here your developer will start developing the project. Maybe let's assume that this is my development laptop. Your developer will connect to these servers only, guys. Your development servers, because they are in remote, they're in data center. You are in your office. From your office, you will connect to these development servers. Your application team, your database team, your system admin, everybody they will connect to these development servers only. So based on the responsibility, they will do their development here. So what developer will do generally, guys? Writing the Java data, Java, .NET, C, CPP programs. So whatever the intent desired server, wherever the development has to be done, so it will connect. He will connect to that server. He'll write the Java data, raw dev, that .NET, C, CPP. So he'll daily writing the code, developing the components based on his task. Once the development is comes, so guys, here your apart from your developer, there will be other teams also, like application team, database team. Okay, different teams will be there. Everybody has their own work. So once your developer develop the code, so other teams also will be involved in development settings. Maybe those functionality, how you are getting that audio calling functionality. So those settings they will do here. Different application settings. Maybe if they want to install new application based on that new functionality, they will do that. They will do that. They will changing the settings every time based on your code and all. Daily the same work they will do in development work. Once the development, again I'll come to development part in while explaining about DevOps. Don't worry, guys. Just overview I'm giving. What is development? What is QA? So then after, once the development done, so it will go to testing phase. Means your test the same application. Now once the development is completed, maybe after 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. Okay, so they will inform to management. Hey, my development is done. My product is now working. So actually for development also they will have different mobiles, guys. So these WhatsApp application, the developed WhatsApp application, day to day they will install on top of their development mobiles. They will check it whether that new functionality, how it is working, whether that any functionality problem or not. Everything day to day they will check it. Finally they will develop the product. Maybe 3 months or 6 months. So they will inform to management, hey, like my project is done, my development is done. Now it will go to testing phase. Same environment, same setup. Whatever the new setup we did here, the application setup, maybe the new setup, new infrastructure, new servers, everything will make it here also in testing phase also. Your tester comes into picture here. Your tester will log into these servers, and by using their testing environment, testing tools, maybe manual testing or automation testing, okay, they will run the functionality tests, maybe secure tests, performance checks, everything they will based on the product, they will check it. If they feel anything wrong in that application, anything security issue or any bugs, any functionality issue, any performance issues, they'll inform back to again developer, your teams. Hey, somewhere we are getting so and so problem while doing audio calling. Okay, so something in between voice is breaking. In between. So every time it is same problem. Even though I have a good network, so I'm getting that voice breakings in between. So somewhere the code is broken. So they'll inform to your developer. Your developer, what they will do again? They will fix that issue. Will implement the same stuff in here also. Again, tester will do the same stuff. So then after, if testing is finished, okay, properly, if everything is good, without issues, then the same product they will inform to management, hey, my testing is also done. Maybe again they also will take 1 or 2 months based on the project. Then after, the same product will be implemented on top of production environment. Now they will release the product into that Play Store or App Store also. Now customer will be notified whenever I open WhatsApp application. So they will be notified, hey, like you have a new update for your application. So customer will update that application. So in their mobile they can see audio calling functionality now. So I can do audio calling also now onwards. So again, as I told you, this is my mobile, this is your mobile. So when I do audio calling to you, so actually it's not direct connection between two. Again, it will go to that audio calling server where that application is running. Internally, guys, there are different applications, not WhatsApp. Different applications they will use. So all together only you are getting these functionalities. The final product name is WhatsApp, but internally in their servers they will use different like web servers, databases, applications. Different applications will be there. I'll give you the list also later. What applications they will use in real time. Okay, so guys, this is called as SDLC process, guys. Okay, so all these stages are called as SDLC process. Any project without DevOps, with DevOps, it doesn't matter. This is the common practice. This is called as SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle. Okay, so again, guys, these are not tools. These are just stages. So internally, as I told you, different applications they will use on top of these servers. Again, how can I know that which application I have to install, which databases I have to install? So you don't worry. Your application team, that's the reason different teams are available there. Developer there, database team there, application. So in a project, every different teams will be there, right? They will in the analysis part, guys. In the analysis part, all the teams will be involved. They will decide which tool on which server we have to install. They will tell you the name. This is the common project, guys. Without DevOps, I have discussed till now. Now let's jump on to DevOps. Why DevOps is required? Already my project working fine without issues. Before DevOps also my projects are there. So many applications has their own setup. Then why should I go with DevOps now? Why every company, every organization nowadays they are looking for DevOps? What is the reason? Now we'll discuss. So guys, I hope you understood what is SDLC process. Any doubts, guys, till now? Any concerns? What is SDLC? Anybody, guys? Anybody want to say something? Guys? Hello?
No, sir.
I hope everybody is good, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So now let's jump on to DevOps. Why DevOps is required? So guys, as everywhere SDLC would be there in any project. So this SDLC can be achieved in multiple ways, guys. So there are like majorly two methods. The first method is waterfall method, guys. Waterfall method and agile method. These are the agile method. So these are the major again methods to implement our SDLC process. So what is waterfall method, guys? So waterfall method is a kind of a traditional method, guys. In a previous days, in a maybe in a 10 years back, something like that. Initially, we started, our organization started working with waterfall method only. What is waterfall method means? So all these stages individually, simultaneously we cannot proceed. First, one by one only. First analysis should be completed for that for that component, for that functionality. Then after design, then after development, then after quality, then after release. This is the problem with waterfall method, guys. Sometimes what will happen? You may have multiple components to do to develop, but you cannot. Waterfall method has some restrictions. The tools which you are using in waterfall method has some limitation. Just a minute, guys. Just a minute. I'm sorry, guys. I'm back. So, guys, waterfall method is the old method, traditional method, where like you have some limitations. Okay, maybe the process might be delayed because of the tool, because of the functionality you have in those waterfall method. You cannot make a simultaneous progress, simultaneous component development. But whereas agile method, guys, agile method is one more method to implement your SDLC. The tools which you are using here in agile method has advanced tools, guys. You can make a multiple stages at the same time. Maybe let's assume that development. So, guys, development means generally what they will do, writing the code. Writing, your developer will do developing the code, maybe Java, .NET, C, CPP. So in a previous methods, guys, after developing everything, maybe after 1 month or 2 months, then only it will go to the testing phase. The quality checking and all, testing phase and all will be again after the completion of development only. Maybe it might be 1 month or 2 months or 3 months later. But by the time your developer has already completed everything, if something in between, so after 3 months, if your tester comes back, so and so code has some problem, some maybe some flaw, you have to change that code, that particular file. Now developer has to look into that code. Apart from that, some dependency, wherever you have the dependency with that particular line or particular file, everything you have to modify. It's a very, very hectic task, guys. In the previous days, they used to do like that. After development finish, then only it goes to testing phase after 3 months or after 6 months. That time, whatever the again flaws you have, so your developer like should do again like too much R&D, too much changes. It's a very hectic task to developer. Okay. Now, if you go with Agile method, guys, if you go with Agile method, what will happen? It has the functionality. The tools which you are using in Agile method has very advanced functionality, guys. You can simultaneously, wherever it is required, you can check the quality of that particular code also day to day. You no need to wait for until the project is completed, until the code is completed till 3 months. Now onwards, day to day, whenever, let's assume that developer today, he completed maybe one file, he updated one file, one component. Immediately I can run the test cases on top of that particular code. No need to wait until the 3 months. So if I immediately I'm getting the reports, guys. Immediately I'm getting the reports on top of quality, but how the quality of that code will be. Again, is there any security issue, functionality issues? The quality I'm able to know like immediately. So in that way, the time is again you can save your efforts, guys. You can save your time. Your developer no need to wait till 3 months to get the report of your code. Immediately you are getting day to day. Whatever the code you written today itself you are getting the report. So like that, you can do simultaneously multiple stages, multiple life cycles you can implement. That is what Agile method, guys. Now, what is DevOps? DevOps comes into which method? DevOps falls in which method? So, guys, I can say it's Agile method. It's modern Agile method. DevOps, I can say. It's not even Agile method. Modern Agile method. You can implement DevOps on top of your project to make any stage at any point of time, guys. Based on your requirement, you can implement your stages at any point of time with very, very easy functionalities, guys. With very easy functionalities within a maybe fingerprints, I can say, within a fingertips. So if you implement DevOps in your project, what will happen? So I do have different advantages, guys, if I implement my DevOps. So I'll give you the justification for all of them. The first one is automation. Automation of SDLC process. Second one is dependency reduce between the teams. Third one is simplification of SDLC process. Fourth one is improve the quality of your product with less time, with maybe less efforts. So guys, these are the advantage of DevOps. Why should I implement DevOps in my project? Mean to get these advantages, to get these benefits. Now let's discuss how we can implement our DevOps tools and how we will get these benefits on top of my project. So without DevOps also project can be run, guys. But with DevOps, if I implement DevOps on top of my existing project or my new project, so I'll get these benefits. So in that way, I can reduce my project cost to half of the amount, guys. Maybe I'll tell you that also. So guys, without DevOps, let's assume that your team members, your developer, your application team, your database team, your system admin, backup admin, network admin, again data center engineer. Okay, so maybe let's assume that 50 members, all teams. Okay, so 50 members working for this project in your WhatsApp project. Assume that it's not again exact figure, just assumption. Now, to implement that audio functionality, to complete that SDLC process for audio calling functionality, let's assume that 6 months all together, maybe development, testing, then release. So all together, it's taking 6 months. Now, again, maybe in terms of your application expenses, your server cost, your management for your servers, your maybe employees, everything, the project cost would be for 6 months. Just assume that, so 2 crores. Okay, so maybe to maintain all this stuff, development, QA, production, for one project, for one SDLC process. Just assume that. Now, if you go with the DevOps in the same project, hardly 20 members, I can say 3 months, I can say not even 1 crore, 50 lakhs. So guys, see the difference? If I go with DevOps, if I go without DevOps, see the difference, guys. So in every aspect, DevOps is a beneficial only to your project. The project time hardly it is taking 3 months. Half of the time I'm able to reduce. That too, half of the employees. Earlier 50 members. Now 20 members are enough because of the DevOps tools. So I'll give you one more example, guys. Maybe the real time, our personal life example. How exactly DevOps tool will help you in your day-to-day projects. I'll give you one scenario. So guys, let's take the power bill. In previous days, okay, maybe around 5-6 years back. So how do you pay the bill, guys? Power bill. We used to go to the nearby power station or maybe some internet. That to internet also, I don't think so. Some power station or nearby point where they will collect the power bill. I have to go personally. I have to pay my bill. But now, anybody is going to power station, guys? So just a minute, guys. Something going on outside. Let me close my windows. Yeah, I'm back, guys. So guys, now how we are paying the bill, power bill? Simply from my mobile itself, I'm paying my bill because of that applications. We do have huge number of applications to pay my bill. We have interfaces. We have mobile application, desktop applications. Without again going anywhere, I'm able to pay my all the bills. Not only again power bill, mobile bills, internet bills, everything I'm able to pay from my mobile because of the applications. Again, same thing, guys. DevOps also will be again useful in the same way. In the previous days, most of the tasks, guys, most of the tasks they used to do manually. Okay, so I'll give you some scenario here. What kind of task they would have in any project, and what exactly DevOps again, what it will change in that project if you use DevOps. Now I'm going to explain that, guys. So, guys, generally, yeah, as I told you, developer, this is your development laptop. So you will have these development server details. How many servers you have in development, which application is running. Okay, so where it is running, everything definitely in every project, you will maintain some database, guys, about your project. How many servers, credentials. So your developer will log into this development servers. Maybe assume that this is your development server. So once he logged into development server, what he will do? He'll write down the code, that Java code, maybe .NET code, C, CPP, whatever it might be. He'll start writing the code here. So just assume that today he started, he written some set of files to get that new. So within a day, we cannot complete the code. Yes or no, guys? So definitely it will take minimum 3 months, 6 months to develop the code and all. But so today he just implemented some components. Okay, so he developed some code. Now, how he will come to know that whether that code is again syntax is correct or not? Maybe that component is working as expected or not. It's not completed code, but still you can check those things. And how can I check? Again, there are some tools for that, guys. There is a tool called Maven. Okay, so that is a DevOps tools, guys. It's a developer tool. So after developing the product, after writing the code, after writing the files here. So guys, one more thing, in real time, every server, every application will maintain in different servers. So let's assume that here Maven is there. Okay, here Maven, maybe the competitors, Ant, Gradle or something there. I'll give you the list. So this is called as build tool, guys. So after developing the files here, your developer, he will copy the same code from here to here manually. Some commands will be there, guys. To copy the code, to copy the files from here to here, there are some commands for him. By running those commands, he'll copy the code. He will create an application with that code. Maybe it may not be the completed code, but still he can build an application with that code. If syntax everything correct, your application will be ready. That WhatsApp application with this updated code. Now, after building the application, again, simply in mobile also, after downloading my mobile application, I have to install it, right? Even in laptop also. If I want to install something, what should I do? I have to download it and install it. So now you have the application, that WhatsApp application here. Now you have to install it. So guys, for development, there will be again internally different applications will be there based on your product. So your product is WhatsApp, right? WhatsApp. So related to this code, these applications, internally they will maintain different applications, different databases. So you will inform to those teams, hey, I got a new application now, new version for my code. Okay, so please go ahead and implement your setup. So again, how can I know that they will take care? Don't worry about that. They will do their setup, their prerequisites. So after that, they will copy this application from here to here, their application server, and they will install it on top of their development servers, their applications. So again, manual task. Copying the data, copying the application from here to their servers. Again, running those prerequisites, your application team, database teams, everything manual. So if once this application installed here, they will check that component, whether it's working as expected or not. Maybe it's not completed code. Audio calling not yet developed still, but again, they will divide one functionality into components, guys. That component is working or not, they will check it. If that is working, they will inform back to developer, hey, it's okay now. Your component which you developed, which you written the code, it's working fine. No issues. Please go ahead. Now again, developer will log into the development. So same, he will develop that second component. Again, will copy that code from here to here. He will build that application. He will create an application. Then after inform to database application. Again, they will do their modification based on this new code, new version. So then after, if that component is working as expected, he'll inform. Even not expected, as expected also, they will inform to developer. If that is not as expected, they will do the changes to the same code, maybe whatever they modified. If that is working as expected, they will go to the new component. So this is how daily your developer, your teams working together in development environment, guys. Your developer, your database guy, your application team, everybody, they will work together. But see, there is a huge dependency between the teams. There is a manual effort, more effort is there. So that's where DevOps comes into picture, guys. So we have different tools. Okay, now let me list out the tools, guys. What are the tools I'm going to cover, and maybe the competitors also. List of DevOps tools. Bitbucket, GitLab, Ansible, Chef, Puppet, Salt, Docker, Kubernetes, Docker Swarm, okay, Maven, and Gradle. So Sonar, Nexus, or JFrog, again Jenkins, Bamboo, VSTS, Azure DevOps, so TeamCity, Excel Release, Excel Deploy, Code Build, Code Deploy. So again, monitoring tools also, guys. So one more thing I forgot, monitoring. So after the release, so guys, after the release of your servers, there will be one more stage called monitor. Monitoring your infrastructure, your servers. That is also very important, guys. If you don't monitor your servers, your infrastructure, your application, what will happen, guys? If something happened to these servers, this application, your customer will be impacted, guys. If you don't observe that, if you don't monitor your server, you don't know that something is down until unless someone informed you. So in real time, in any organization, monitoring is also one of the important aspect, guys. Always you have to monitor your servers, your applications, your functionality. Okay, any space issue, any performance issue, in all the servers. So in that way, your application, your customer will be satisfied. They won't face any problem at any cost, anytime. Okay, that is the purpose of monitoring. So we'll use monitoring tools also, like Naevos, CloudWatch, Splunk. So guys, these are the DevOps tools, commonly used DevOps tools anywhere. Okay, but out of it, the first level, this one, GitHub, Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes, Maven, Sonar, Nexus, Jenkins, Nagios. So these are the commonly used tool, guys. More market share in any projects. Most of the organizations are using these tools only as a DevOps tools because of the, again, easy functionalities. because of the again flexibility, guys. They have very easy functionalities and flexibility, and also open source, guys. One more important advantage about our DevOps tools are open source tools. Most of the tools are open source, guys. You no need to pay anything for them. Okay, so in our class, I'm going to cover all these first level tools, guys. Very commonly used tool in any project. Maybe in some projects you may have these tools also, but very rare cases. The market share is very less for these tools, guys. Second levels. So I'm going to cover this first level, and apart from that, guys, so the prerequisites for learning DevOps. So Linux and one of the cloud providers, guys, like AWS or Azure or Google Cloud. So these are the minimum knowledge you should have, guys. No technique, no again programming language is required for our DevOps. No coding is required. No testing knowledge is required. No Java, .NET knowledge is required. But these are the prerequisites, guys. The minimum knowledge you should have. So before starting our class, our course, we'll start with these two only. Okay, so AWS is one of the cloud provider, guys. In most of the organizations, they are using this AWS to maintain the infrastructure. So guys, in previous days, maybe around 10-15 years back, everybody, so if I would like to start my own organization, I should maintain my own data center. It's very costly, guys. This hardware, see the setup, see the wiring. You need power, network cables, hardware set maintenance, data center engineer, power admin, network admin, system admin to maintain these servers, backup admin, storage admin, separate admins you need if you maintain your own data center. Very tough also. The company, the procedure also to install one operating system here to connect to these boxes and to install operating system, it will take 1.5 hours. 1 to 1.5 hours, guys, if you maintain your own data center. But nowadays, no need to maintain any data center. My infrastructure and all not at all required. Simply, there are some third-party providers like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. So who they are means they are a cloud provider. They are called. They are maintaining their data centers, guys, in their different locations: India, US, UK, London, Singapore, Canada. So different data centers they have in different locations. So they're providing one easy interface, web interface. I have to create account in AWS by logging into AWS website, and I can build my servers, my Linux boxes, my Windows boxes. Linux is an operating system, guys. It's similar to Windows. How you are using Windows? Same, similar kind of. But mostly it has so command line, only commands. So if you see how it will be means, in your Windows, you have GUI plus this command prompt also. You can run your commands here. Whatever you are doing in GUI, the same thing you can do it from here also. But in Linux, only this command prompt will be there, no GUI. You cannot just double click or maybe go to browser, download something. You cannot do like that. Whatever you need, you have to do it from here itself, from this command prompt itself for your Linux. That is an operating system. Everything you should run from command line only. No GUI. Okay. So these two are the prerequisites, guys, for our before proceeding with DevOps. And these are the DevOps tools. Okay. So each tool will be used in different ways. Again, guys, I think it's enough for today. Maybe tomorrow also we have the same time, guys. Tomorrow also demo only. So in tomorrow class, I am going to explain each of these tools. how these tools will be helpful in your project. So till now, we have seen only like how your infrastructure, your existing infrastructure, your projects will be, what kind of servers, what kind of infrastructure you may have, what exactly your developer will do, your application team does. Those things we have seen, right? Now in tomorrow class, in tomorrow demo class, we'll see how your DevOps tools will be helpful in each phase, in each maybe team. So actually we'll talk, we will be involved in every team tasks, guys. As a DevOps admin, okay, you will be involved in every team tasks. You will reduce the team efforts, your developer effort, your database efforts, your application team efforts by implementing your DevOps tools here. Okay, that is the reason, guys. Your DevOps is also called as development plus operations. You're involving everywhere. Development also you're involving, but don't worry, you no need to have any any coding knowledge. But what they are doing manually, so our DevOps will inform to our DevOps. Once we implement our DevOps tools here, guys, your DevOps will take care the most of their manual work. Okay, so in tomorrow demo class, we'll see how exactly our DevOps tools will, what are the DevOps tools and which tool will be implemented in which phase. Okay, so I'll explain in tomorrow, same time, guys, 6 p.m. IST again. Now, as of now, guys, if you have anything, please let me know. Guys.
Sir, actually, I have one question.
Yes, tell me.
Yeah, so can you please open the notepad? So you just mentioned two things about the prerequisite Linux and AWS.
Yes.
So AWS is Amazon Workspace, or it is Amazon Web Service?
Yes, Amazon Web Services, AWS stands for.
Okay, so before you're covering this DevOps tools, you will be covering Linux and AWS first.
Exactly. AWS, again, the basic services only, Linux and AWS. But guys, you will be given tasks for each and every tool. Because apart from the class, okay, you have to go through with the tasks also, which I will give in our classes. Then only you will get more knowledge, guys. So in tomorrow demo class, I'll show you the documentation part also. What kind of documents I will provide. Okay, so everything I'll give in tomorrow class. Documentation as well as about this each DevOps tool explanation I will give tomorrow class. Okay. So anything else, guys?
Okay, so what is the course duration, sir?
2 months minimum. Minimum 2 months, guys. Everybody should have their own AWS account, guys. So AWS is a cloud provider. Very easy to create. Again, it's a free account only. So everybody should have their own laptop, their own AWS account. So I will show you how to install that again, each DevOps tools and which purpose you will use that DevOps tool. Okay, that is the concept, guys.
So have it.
I'm sorry.
Am I audible?
Yes, tell me.
Yeah. So you are saying these are the tools which are commonly used in the market, right? So if I want to know about the Azure DevOps, so these tools are enough, or how to have any other tools to be learned?
Again, the logic will be same only, guys. Any competitor logic will be same only, but the functionality, maybe the setup, okay, the view will be different. But if you know one logic with one tool, definitely you can implement other logics also, other again applications also very easily only, not that much complex. Okay, so the product vendors are different. If you see mobile, guys, so we do have different vendors like Apple, Samsung, Redmi, right? So all functionalities are same only, but only the vendors are different. But not like that, not exactly. But overall final output will be same. Whatever the tool you use, the final output will be same. Only the setup will be different. So if you know logic, definitely you'll be able to work with any tool, guys. So definitely based on your project, you have to work with some other tools also. Sometimes they may ask Chef in their project. But learning Chef later Ansible, not a big deal, guys, because already you know the logic of Ansible. So definitely you can go with Chef very easy only. Okay, guys. In that way, you can again make it very easy if you know the logic.
So one more
Yeah.
question
Next.
actually.
Yes.
Yeah, so whatever you have listed in the first, right, GitHub, Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes, and Maven. So in those lines,
Mm-hmm.
so is there any chance that the project will get listed for all these things?
I'm sorry. Come again. Come again.
So you have listed GitHub, Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes, right? So these tools are
Okay.
specific to each and every task. Say, for example, if that is a GitHub, then that is a version control tool or source code management tool, right? So,
Okay.
okay,
Yes, it's a
say
version
for
control system.
example, yeah.
Hmm.
So say for example, if I'm developing an application, is there any chance? I mean, is there any need that will come? So I have to implement GitHub, Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes, Maven, Sonar, Nexus, Jenkins, and Nagios. All the things will be
Again,
in the project.
as I told, DevOps is not mandatory for any project. But why we are using DevOps tools mean to make it project very easier. If you implement DevOps on top of your project, okay, your project will be again completed very easy. The reason you will
Excuse me, sir, your voice is
implement
breaking. Your voice is not audible.
okay, so just a minute. What about now?
Yeah, good now.
Yeah, so I was saying that. So without a project can be there. Okay, project can be implemented. But with why we will implement DevOps means to make it our project very easier to get a secure product, more secure product with less time, guys. Within a less time, you can develop your product. You can complete the SDLC. The functionalities are very easy if you implement DevOps. Manual effort
Yes, yes,
you
sir.
are reducing.
Yeah, so assume that I'm implementing, okay? So these tools will be used for each and every tool will be for different purposes, right?
Yes, you are right.
Okay. So I can use
Yes,
all
that
the tools in a single application to develop and maintain.
it depends again. So it's not like we are not sure that every tool can be used in every project. It's based on your project again. So again, every tool has its own purpose, right? So that purpose, if you have, definitely you can use that tool. It's not like all these tools we have to use in a project. If I go with the DevOps, it's not like that. Only if I have the purpose, I'll use that tool. Otherwise, no.
Okay,
Got
fine,
it?
so got it.
Yeah. So in tomorrow class, I'll explain about each and every tool, guys. How exactly this tool work and what is the purpose of each tool. We'll see that in tomorrow class. Okay. So anything else, guys? Anything
Yes,
else?
sir. Are you
Yes.
able to listen me?
Yes, I'm able
Actually,
to
my
hear you.
colleague told me. Actually, my colleague told me for DevOps, any scripting language is required, like Shell scripting or Python scripting. Am I right?
Okay, good question. Yes, definitely. Apart from the DevOps, if you have shell script or Python, okay, it will be helpful to you, but it is not DevOps. It is additional to DevOps. Okay, that shell scripting or Python, if you have it, definitely it will be helpful to you. It's additional, maybe your career opportunities will be more if you have that also.
So how it will be helpful, sir?
Again, in terms of automation, as I told you, DevOps tools will be used to automate your project, automate your manual efforts. Okay, so some routine task will be there. So maybe internally your application team or maybe your database team, they will give some condition. They may have some conditions. So every time, as I told you, after the development, after writing the code, your developer, what he will do, he'll build an application. That application will be again informed to copy to your application server. So in between, if your application team or database team have any dependencies, some prerequisite, as I told you, some requisite commands, pre-settings they have to do, right? So those again, like there might be some conditions. Not every time they may have to run those commands. Some commands sometimes, some commands sometimes, because based on the condition. So those conditions, if you do manually, you know it. So based on the condition, you will trigger the related commands. But if you automate, how you will know that? Again, you need a scripting or this one, maybe Python. So that based on the condition, only that related command will be executed. To execute the commands, you are using your DevOps tools. It doesn't know, right, how to execute, when to execute. So that condition you will make it with that shell script. Okay, that is what that
Yes.
purpose. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Fine, sir. Coming to
Yeah.
material part, so
Ah.
you have prepared your own material and you will be providing to us
Yes, you're
to the
right.
tasks and all related
Ah.
functionalities.
Exactly. So tomorrow class, I will show that documentation part also. That again, whatever the running notes already there. Again, this different setup documentations also I do have installations. So in different configurations. Okay, communication setup between the servers, between the application. So much documentation I do have. I already prepared. Okay, so maybe interview questions also. Yes, certifications also. Again, I will help, but this is not certification training. So whatever this course is completely technical knowledge purpose, not for certification. So basically, certification knowledge will be different. That will be again you have to go through with a different training. But I will help you. What are the certifications you need and all for DevOps. Okay, so I'll help you on those part. Don't worry. Which are mainly used nowadays. Those things and all, I will help you. Don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Next.
fine, sir. So yes, sir. Once we complete the course, how you will be helping to us if we have any doubts or queries? Is it mail
Maybe I'm
communication
not
or-
sure. I'm not sure after the course. It's based on our rapport then, because I'm not exactly how it will be after the course, right?
Okay.
So it's based on our rapport then. So maybe if you are really a dedicated person, if you are really working hard in our project, in our course itself, will give, as I told you, so many tasks, right? Apart from our class. So we can discuss over those tasks and all, again, the different projects, so that you'll get more idea. So the interview questions I will provide as part of our class. Then after the resumes also I will provide. Okay. So this is how I can help.
Okay, sir. Are we working on any live projects or is that only a task
Again,
that you will be-
yes, live project in the sense tasks are nothing but projects only. It's part of
Okay.
project only, right? Tasks are nothing but. So each tool, how to use those tools. What is the purpose? What are the scenarios? We'll discuss. So definitely, guys, if you can go through my class as well as tasks, you can make it minimum 2 to 3 years of experience, guys. If you complete all my tasks, not simply listen the class. So guys, we have number of tools. You have to practice more. Okay, we have to discuss more. You have to be open every time. Whenever you have some queries, you have to ask. Then only I'll come to know that whether you are understanding or not. Right? Simply I'm keep on teaching you. You are listening. How can I know that whether you are understanding or not? So you should respond you have to provide your feedback also. How exactly, like maybe if you have any clarities, if you need any clarities. So definitely class will be helpful only, guys. Apart from the class, you will be given tasks. So sir, can I now, maybe you can discuss with the organizer, guys. Okay, the cost and all, they will again discuss with you, don't worry. Okay, yeah. Next,
So one
anything else
final
on?
question.
Yes, tell me.
So daily it will be 1 hour or 2 hours?
Minimum 1 hour, but it may be extended 1 hour, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
So only 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Yes, hardly 7, maybe 7:15, sometimes 7:30 also. It depends on our current class, maybe current topic, guys. Some topics in between we cannot leave it, right? So maybe in between we are, so we have to complete that installation part. So we have to continue. So it maximum 1.5 hour, minimum 1 hour, guys. Next, anything else?
Hi, sir.
Yes.
Hello. Yes.
Yes,
Sir,
yes, tell me.
I'm new on DevOps actually. So I want to know,
Uh-huh.
like, after completing this course, where I can start.
So definitely, it doesn't matter, guys, whether you are a fresher, whether you are a non-IT guy, whether you are a maybe IT guy, but with different knowledge, different technical knowledge. It doesn't matter. Okay, if you can complete my tasks, if you are up to date for all my entire classes, okay, then entire tasks. So definitely, I am promising you, you can make it minimum 3 years of experience, 2+, okay, 2+, and maybe three also, 3 years also. But guys, always you have to speak also in our class whenever I ask something, because my classes will be always interactive sessions, guys. My class will be always interactive session. I used to ask many questions. Okay, as today it's a demo, I haven't asked many questions, but generally in our regular classes I'll ask many questions, guys. You have to respond. It's not like I'm just teaching and you're listener. Okay, so everybody should be again in interactive, so that you can get more knowledge, guys. Yeah. Anything else, guys?
One more question.
Yeah,
Sir.
what about the backup classes? I mean, if I miss any class,
The record. You will get the recording, but as well as I do have other batches also. Okay, so if anybody interested, maybe if anybody missing some complete topic, you want to join other batches with your organizer permission, definitely you can join other batches also. But you have to take your organizer permission.
okay. Should we have any
Okay.
basic knowledge of DevOps tools before entering into
Not
this
required.
course?
Not required. I'll give you the full picture about every tool, guys. But all you need is you have to be up to date with my instructions. You should not miss any single class, and you should not again miss any single task as well. You have to complete our tasks also. Then only you'll get again enough knowledge. Next. And apart from that, guys, one more thing I want to show regarding this organizer. Okay, so just a minute. So, guys, whoever joined from this registered link, okay, please contact these phone numbers, guys. Please contact these phone numbers. Okay, it's minimum 2 months, guys. The course duration is 2 months minimum. Okay, And everybody, please reach out to whoever want to enroll with our course. Please reach out to this information, guys. These contacts are maybe email addresses or maybe address. You can reach out them physically also. Okay, except the guys who maybe like for some guys I also given my from my end, so right, except those guys, please everybody others, please reach out to these numbers or these mail address or these physical address. Okay, maybe after the class or before the tomorrow class. And tomorrow also, guys, we have the class, demo class. And tomorrow I'll explain about each and every tool. What is the purpose of each and every tool? Okay. So Monday onwards, we can start our regular classes. Monday same time, 6 p.m. But in general, no weekend class, only weekday class, guys. Okay. Only this big demo we have weekend. So again, Monday onwards, we'll start our regular class, Linux first. Okay, guys. Let's wind up the call as of now. Okay, we'll meet again tomorrow, guys. Please reach out to like whoever joined with this link. Please reach out to Dugasoft. And if you have any queries related to cost or maybe timings and all, please check with them. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. We'll see again tomorrow, same time. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Bye, guys.